it all mapped out in my head, but I ain't really got it like. Haven't had time to get in here and just knock it out.
Yeah, we got to get because we're gonna have them on before too long. All right, what's up, everybody? Here we are, episode 41.
Yo,
here we are.
Yeah, got Thain and IC in the house.
Thain and IC in the house. In this
what's up, y'all?
So.
My people.
What's poppin'?
A little bit of For the Birds, a little bit of their own shit going on. We'll get into that in fucking right in a second. We are shamelessly promoting that everyone brings us T-shirts because me and Aaron love T-shirts.
We like free shirts,
and we wear them. And we
Americans.
Yeah, we'll support local. We want to support local as long as you let us in free to your shows and give us free T-shirts.
I'll typically buy your damn T-shirt, man.
No,
I ain't scared. I'll buy that.
No, we pay for it. But I got my big ass shirt. I gotta pay for it. That motherfucker.
Yeah, because like it changes at my size. Like I'm a 2X, and that's about when people start adding another like $3 to $5. Yeah,
dude, I bet here before too long they're gonna start charging less for like the smalls and mediums because of the pressure that have you seen that shit? Like, because they don't charge more for like as a small going up to an extra large, it's quite a bit more.
Yeah, even like a restaurant that gives you like a discount based on your size. Like, like that meme that you walk through the bars for your discount.
This all you can eat is going to cost your ass $30, man.
All right, yeah. Well, pause for that graphic real quick. Again, we're still selling that ad space, so if you got a show you want to promote, we'll put it on here right now, along with all the Monica House stuff that's coming up. So hit that real quick. The unofficial sponsor of Jameson. We appreciate you.
Actually, this bottle got donated to us tonight.
And my boy, we got a shout out.
Yeah, this was sponsored tonight.
The Jameson bottle was given to us by, what is her name? God,
Dana.
Dana, thank you. Dana gave it to us, the bartender at the Cowboy. So the unofficial sponsor tonight is
that's
Dana.
Yeah, hooked us up with the bottle. So Dana and Chris. Chris is her boyfriend. Chris is a good dude too. So
super awesome. Thank you.
We usually see them on Tuesday nights. So if you ever do anything on Tuesday nights, Aaron and Austin shows up at the Cowboy.
Cool.
Usually.
For the most part, we're there at some point because it's open mic. It's Giuseppe's.
Jacoby Asadaya.
Formerly Taylor Wall. Formerly Giuseppe. Formerly Dr. Lee Winter. Jacoby Lee Winter.
We kind of fucking with that kid a little bit, but he's a good kid.
The whole joke is like he's changing his name, and I don't mind that he's changing his name, like he's rebranding himself. But I want to try to affect the name that he's picked by the time he goes legal with it, just in some way, shape, or form. That's my only goal is to like fuck with him a little bit until he like changes just something. He's not gonna, but it's still fun for me.
I always thought it'd be cool to like make releases under another, like the Garth Brooks, whatever his other project was called.
Oh, that Chris Gaines shit?
do
we talked about that a little bit.
That'd be kind of funny.
Yeah. Did you know how that came around? The Chris Gaines record?
Not really.
It's really a good story. Hit him with it real quick.
So what happened is that was supposed to be a movie. All right. So do you remember like what was the fucking George Strait movie where they did that shit? Like,
I don't know.
Anyway, it was supposed to be like that. Like this rock star going out and. I just want to move back to Oklahoma and chill and that whole like thing. But the movie never came out, and so the album never made sense. Right? Like they should have released it.
He's like, we still sold units. I don't care.
So what did you guys think? This is what I thought, and tell me what you think. I thought he just went nutty, wanted to do some different shit, like cut his hair and like did like a rock album. That's what I totally thought happened.
All right, so there's another story like that. Like, Jim Carrey, like he kind of went off the deep end and kind of got blackballed by All right, so there was a Terrence McKenna movie that was being filmed that never came out. And Jim Carrey's he's a method actor. You know what I mean? Like he goes all the way into a role.
Oh yeah, he does.
And so Terrence McKenna was like this
huge mushroom guy,
huge psychedelic guy, dude.
Yeah.
And so I think fucking Jim Carrey just went and burned out inside of like 6 months on psychedelics.
He might have been a little bit on him already before too. He's really eccentric already.
Well, he's really eccentric, but like, I think he went fucking down that rabbit hole a little bit hard, trying to prepare for a role for a movie that never came up.
Well, what was that movie? The Man on the Moon about
the Andy Kaufman.
And wasn't he going crazy on that one too?
Yeah, he went a little like too deep.
He pissed off like all of his coworkers and shit.
Well, the thing was what he looked at is in a lot of people, if you don't know, Andy Kaufman was that hard to work with. Yeah. So like he was a pain in the ass on the Taxi show, and he was a pain in the ass on all the movies he did. I mean, he would book these huge giant stadiums and then just stand there and read a fucking book. Like, he wouldn't give you any bits. He's just reading like a terrible fucking book.
What a dick.
Like a boring ass fucking book. Like, that is the longest drawn out fucking funny punchline, but it's a dick move. So like, he went full blast into like the way that Andy treated the cast and crew that he dealt with. He did it the same way, and he was fucking hard to deal with at that point, from my understanding.
I'd imagine.
I mean, I wasn't fucking there, but this is what I've heard. I mean, that's going deep into that shit. I mean,
You say you saw a documentary on it?
Yeah, and then, I don't know if it was Man on the Moon was the movie he did, or if that was the documentary.
That was the movie for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, that was the movie.
I watched a documentary on Netflix or somewhere that just was like a deep dive on that whole thing, and kind of showed all of his antics and all the method acting stuff he was, kind of getting into, and it was a trip.
It's weird when they go like that hard. Like, I mean, it makes sense though, kind of. I mean, I get it. I mean, because what's his name that everyone loves that does very few movies is like that Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh yeah.
Goes like that deep into
the period
like,
pieces and stuff.
Yeah, like where they're like living like that shit like 6 months before the fucking movie starts. Like, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if it makes you, if it's what works for you, then it's what works, I guess.
Right.
Oh, quick shout out before I forget to Santia Souls new live album just dropped.
Shout out.
Oh, nice.
All right.
So, former guest dropping a new live album this week. Check that out. I caught it on Apple Music, so it's probably on all platforms. So check that out.
Cool. You guys are fixing to find out, but when you're a guest of Austin and Aaron's show, you're on this thread now. Like, you will be after this. Like, you're gonna be on this thread with all the past guests.
Yeah,
for
okay,
sure.
cool.
Like, you know the thread we have. Like, we were talking before the show. Like, I'll dump you into the one that's everybody. So
It's some pretty fucked up shit. I don't know if you want to be on there, but like, you're gonna be invited.
just because of you and Miko.
I think we accept the challenge. We'll be all right.
Well, I think almost everybody stayed in the group. We've only lost a few.
Yeah,
and there's only a few.
I'm surprised we didn't lose more over me and Miko's banner over
the weird piss guy.
piss dude. Yeah.
Some dude. Yeah. Let's stop.
Yeah,
John laughing in the background.
Let's stop right
Let's not drop all of our content right away.
Can we mention the channel?
Yeah. Well, you just did. So,
But can we mention, like, go into it?
Well, I can't go all the way.
I wanted to
into
just
it
do
yet.
this to you on air. I didn't want to ask you before. I wanted to fuck with you.
Thanks, man. That's awesome. So yeah,
Hold that one in the pocket all day.
So I'm in a nonprofit, and we're trying to basically facilitate arts and entertainment happening a different way in Wichita, right? And so my partner Jeff Kelly has been in the backgrounds for weeks now, probably like 6-8 weeks, developing our own Roku channel.
Nice.
And that's done now. I just heard this morning that that's basically done. We are into beta testing now, so I need different content from different people.
So, like,
just pop on there, and I ain't gonna charge you to put it up there.
because we've made some episodes, of course. But we're looking for
Other content.
People-
I want music videos.
Yeah.
I want
it's like music videos. We're looking for if you've like had an idea for a show and you want to maybe get into it, or you have some episodes of a podcast already that you just want to streamline onto this, because we're gonna basically we're gonna have the channel 24 hours a day. It's our own fucking channel.
And I'm taking names for it too. Like, if you guys got a badass name for something.
Oh,
We'll
yeah,
drop
someone
some
come up with
content.
something.
Badass name for
Oh
that.
yeah,
For sure.
We got the For the Birds Voices video. I'm about to drop a video.
Yeah,
so-
there you
I
go.
shot for a music video maybe a month ago.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
shit like that would be cool to like just have, because you can just loop it on the fucking channel all day. So like that'll your video get seen maybe 5-6.
It's an audio visual world, man. We're in an audio visual world. Like, just having a CD or some shit doesn't matter anymore. You know what I mean?
It's constant consumerism, constant
Exactly.
content creation.
Always.
And anything that you can, I think that anything that you can get out there without having to like make a hard copy of something is awesome. I mean, it's nice to have people buy your merch and have in your shit and your CDs if you even make them anymore, or your digital, like like that one thing.
Like your niche audience.
But it's nice to just throw free.
They like
shit.
something that's limited, whether it's merch or release or just whatever.
Vinyl
it
making
is.
that big ass comeback for no reason.
And it's just cool. It just feels cool. I feel
It
like.
does. And like, I remember having vinyl, and like the album art was so cool. You'd open it up and there'd be like, square footage of art. You know what I mean?
I've seen some people be successful and do vinyls, or even on the local level, vinyl or like cassette tapes. That'd be something cool to do, but I just, it's very niche.
There's a lot of money to
It's so much
make.
easier just to give somebody your
vinyls.
art without having to give them anything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, because shout out to Scott Ballistic. He had the thing that looked like a cassette.
Was cool.
It was kind of a cool idea. It was a thing that looked like a cassette, and at the bottom of it, it'd flip out into a USB.
Oh, that's actually dope.
Yeah,
so
it was awesome.
It looked
On
like
Nothing But Classics or something.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, it was pretty tight. So it was actually in the old school, like, clear cassette tape, and you pulled it
out. It had all the feel of
it. You pulled it the fuck out, and it had a tape, but just at the bottom of the tape, it's not a real tape.
Maybe him and Maurice.
It just folded out into a USB. You plugged it in, and it had like tons of music. I can't remember almost his full library, I think. So it was a lot. It was a lot of shit. So it was a really cool thing that's kind of new to still make people buy.
And on that format, you could throw videos down on that same kind of flash drive. You could throw like all kinds of stuff.
I wonder what those would be. First of all, I was going to get, before we get too far, what do you think it costs per album to make? Like, if you make a big record, if you were making a vinyl, what do you think it would cost an artist per record?
Depends on press or lathe.
Yeah,
$25
we
a
looked,
record.
we looked into it. It was like $30 a record.
It's different, man, because there's pressing it, which is a lower quality. If you lathe that record, which is the highest quality, then that's
I didn't even know there was two. So explain this to me. You guys know something I don't know.
I didn't know about the lathing.
There's two different kinds of way to make records?
Yeah.
Okay, well, school me.
Yeah. So one, you would take 170 gram blank, and it's just a chunk of fucking vinyl, and it's like this hard ass vinyl, and then you would lathe it, right? Like if you look up a record lathe, like that's the process. You have a master, and it lathes off into this thing. You have a cutting head. That's how all of it used to be done, actually. And
how exactly does that make music? It seems like not real.
Nah. Check this out. Check this out. You know the Victrola?
You know what I mean?
You know the Victrola? Like it had the big.
It's one step scoop above the crank and having a crank and a handle for the music to come out.
So there was a player
carving it into vinyl makes music. Like, how did somebody fucking figure that out?
Man, on the old wax discs, the old wax like headphones and shit, there was that big horn kind of thing that made the sound, and you would have a player needle or a cutting needle. And if you just shouted into that thing, you could cut your own wax deal. The technology didn't move too far from that. Wow. It's the same deal. It's the same shit.
So now, if you were, say, me and you had a band, and we wanted to get albums made, there's two different ways. There's a cheap way and there's a real way.
There's two different ways. Yeah, like there's lathing it.
I had no fucking idea.
Yeah, there's lathing it, and then there's pressing it. But even on the press, you have to have a glass master. So they would cut and carve into this glass, and then that is what would make the press.
Shit, that seems...
So they put a hot ball of vinyl in the middle of this fucking thing and go bam, and there's your record. And that's what made it cheap. That's what made it cheap and accessible for everybody.
If you don't have a following already, I wouldn't advise anyone to
I've
just
been
make
to your
vinyl
music in my
records
car all week, and it's been real easy because it's just on Apple Music. It's fucking super simple.
You don't have that car record player?
I like the ownership.
That had to exist at one point.
The ownership of having something hard, like a hard copy of something, is cool for all the collectors and people that are just eclectic and like that, but most people are just online with it.
And most people, like, we funneled everybody into like the shirts and stickers and backpacks on that shit. Like, because fuck making the CDs, I would and stuff like that. Why make that and carry around all that shit? Like, when you can just, you ain't gonna get a dollar for the downloads anyway. Just push them onto whatever.
See,
platform.
for me, like whenever we make CDs, there's like a weird gratification for it.
Just having it,
just holding it.
Can you,
what
okay? So say you've got multiple albums, and you guys have made music. So like, can you just make one for yourself? And then
you could, but it's like
that's going to be expensive as hell.
That's going to be like in the same.
What would it cost me if I just wanted to make one motherfucker?
You could probably, the right place for less than $200 probably. You can get 100 copies of an album. Like in a jewel case, poly wrapped. There's different budget levels and different packages that includes. But my first two albums, I double jewel case, poly earth, poly wrapped, and had all the extra stuff, the inserts and all that stuff, UPC, and it was really cheap, honestly. Like, doing one individually would probably cost, like a third of what it costs to get like 100 of them made.
Well, but you still got to pay now. If you're just only doing one, you still got to pay for all that artwork to be done. Yeah. There's still the layout. There's still the whole damn thing.
So you want to at least make a run of them.
You need to make a run.
Make a run of them.
And you can sell them for $10 and probably make your money back if you sell half of them, right?
Dude, and that's the thing. Like, if
you can sell them for, even if you sell them at $5, you're making your money back pretty easily.
Dude, like 95% of, like, if I think back, 95% of all the CDs we ever made is for the birds. We sold them all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like you said, people want to hold it.
They do. Yeah. Well, that's like when you put something in people's face, they buy it. Like,
especially here in the Midwest, man. We still on that old technology.
And a lot of times,
put it in my hand.
And a lot of times, the CD is cheaper than the fucking buying a T-shirt.
If somebody gives you
for a T-shirt, $10 for the CD.
Exactly. They're like, hey, fuck.
If somebody gives you a professional looking project like that and it's wrapped and it's like from the store, it looks completely legitimate, and they give you that, like, you're gonna remember that, and the chances of you actually giving it a chance and and listening to it, exponentially better. I had my second album, I pressed up like 1,000 hard copies, and because I sold probably half of them and gave the other half away, like that's just great promotion. I mean, and I probably still made my money back on something like that.
Yeah, you used to put 1,000 out.
Yeah.
And you, like you said, it's like putting business cards out in the streets too.
Oh yeah.
Yep, to a point.
I wish they'd keep putting CD players in cars. You can't hardly find a fucking car CD player anymore.
Yeah.
It's true.
I mean, my car's a 2016. That motherfucker ain't got a CD player in it at all.
Really?
Yeah.
Same with mine. Well, mine might have a CD player. I think mine does have a CD player. I know that because when I drove to LA, this guy was selling he was in the Rasta band
at the gas station.
Well, no, on the boardwalk. He was just
go.
like selling them. He came and put it in my hand, and then was like, "Well, you owe me $10 now." Basically.
right. Hustle.
I checked his album out. It was actually pretty good. It was it's still in my CD player because I don't get CDs that often.
And because he does it like that, that guy sold like 5,000 copies of his.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. If he hits that same spot every day, he's probably out there moving units.
All right, before we get too deep into it, introduce yourselves a little bit and make sure you tell us your band and all your stuff that's that you've done before this, and so we know really where we come from. We kind of just spilled into this episode.
Okay.
I assume everybody knows these motherfuckers.
Yeah, I assume that too, but I want to get in because I want to ask you: because I know your name is IC Collins the Fourth. Are you a fourth?
I am the fourth.
Me too, man.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
That's why.
Okay.
That's
Fourth
really
power.
what I wanted to give
His kid, the fifth.
My kid, I have a fifth.
Really?
My son's the fifth.
It's funny. I've never met a fifth in person.
Well, if you
That's
ever get
cool
to
as
see
fuck.
my son, there's actually 3 generations of us alive right now. My dad's still alive, so the 3rd, 4th, and 5th are all still kicking.
Good
I never met a fifth I didn't like.
Yeah, they ain't no shit. They go down. That's really what I wanted to get into before we got too far. So IC Collins the Fourth, Austin C. Shoemate the Fourth.
Yeah.
I'm on a podcast.
All
together.
right.
I
Good
like
shit.
it. Yeah, I like it.
And Thain, of course,
Yeah.
Thain.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just Thain the first, but
Thain the first. Of many.
It's got to start somewhere. It's got to start at
Self-proclaimed
the senior. It goes
Tyler
senior,
Haynes.
junior, then the third.
Shout out to all the Hayneses. Yeah, man. Together we're 2 members of a 5-piece band.
Yeah.
We got music together. We got music independently. We both got releases that are coming out. We do shows together. We do shows
Independently.
And you guys, For the Birds is doing a big show even though it'll be out, this podcast will be out after that show. You guys are opening for the
Smells Like Nirvana.
Smells Like Nirvana this
Smells Like
Saturday.
Nirvana, yeah, this Saturday.
The 28th.
Well, the 28th. Yeah, this will be out after that.
Yeah, it'll be out after that.
Following
But still,
Tuesday?
Huh?
It'll be out next
Thursday.
Tuesday?
This is next Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We film on Tuesdays. They come out the following Thursday.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
So it makes give our production team plenty of time.
Time to edit, I was
Yeah,
like, damn, you guys are pumping
that's
them
it.
out.
We don't really edit much, but it makes it look more professional. We the camera angles we got dealing with. And
Sure.
It makes it look nice. But we're actually working on trying to do live recordings here too. So we'll record them and do live because we did Winterfest where there was literally like a sheet up behind where you guys are, and bands was playing the whole fucking time. So they would come off the stage and they would come in here, and we did whole
Post
days
interviews and stuff.
Yeah, it was
pretty
fun. But
So it's like Facebook Live? So y'all trying to do Facebook
We can do
Live?
live stream.
yeah, we're gonna do a full live stream.
That's
live
what we're
stream on
gearing
YouTube.
towards. That's what we're
Okay.
trying
we're
to gear up.
We're gonna
to.
it'll be almost similar to like an episode of our show, but it'll be like live and it'll come out like an episode. Like so if we do something on location, like we'll still keep doing like our shows every week,
Right.
but like on location shit or like if like say you're in a festival and you got an in and you can invite us to come, like Sir Charles is even trying to get us to come to a thing that he's doing.
And I think we're gonna try.
and
that'd be cool.
so like doing something like that live. Like is going to help promote that
be
show
dope.
better.
Yeah.
Like even
For
though
sure.
like because the Winterfest show, it's cool that we got to do that, but we're releasing. We just got all that edited and ready.
We ain't releasing it in time to promote it.
Yeah.
Right.
So
like you guys now, like you're here on Tuesday, you got a show Saturday that I can't help you promote.
So how cool would it be to eventually get? Because I know Ryan Stevenson and the people at the Cotillion. Like how cool would it be to eventually like be able to do a live podcast maybe as you guys are going on. That'd
be cool.
Come do a post interview with us at the Cotillion.
Yeah,
we could probably
that's what-
we could probably figure that out.
We
That's
figure,
what I mean,
like eventually,
that'd be-
that's where we're trying to get to, so we
Yeah.
can handle that. So like there is still part of like live promotion.
Come do like
Maybe
a-
if we sell an extra 25 tickets, because
Come do like a green room episode or something.
Yeah.
Right. If at the Cotillion.
That would be cool.
Be careful, we can't edit when we live.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I'm saying?
that's true.
That ain't no shit.
Yeah.
Especially with you.
So with me,
Keep your pants on.
man, I'm telling you, my pants ain't on right now.
Oh, shit.
But we can edit it.
I got a table in the way. Nobody knows.
So You guys got your solo stuff. You guys were doing solo stuff separate before For the Birds, or what?
This is something I got to talk about, man. Because
tell me.
I love For the Birds. What you guys do is dope, especially when you came on board. I really started hitting for me. But hearing what you two have created lately, just solo, man, that hits me really, really hard. Yeah. Like I love what you two.
There's separate solo stuff, or there's
acoustic.
They have a duo thing.
And it's one stone. Am I right?
Well, one stone is originally Tony Lee and IC. Yeah. I've kind of just been like the adopted child on that on that venture.
Together
well, it's because
we don't have a name for that.
Oh,
really? When it's him and me.
I thought it'd be called Half Stone, and that'd be a kind of a funny, a kind of a funny rendition.
Yeah, 1/7/8 stone,
or sorta birds. Like we're sorta
birds,
sorta
birds.
What is sorta birds?
Yeah,
I like it too. But yeah, we've had some adventures, just us. We we could get into it, but like we went to this music festival in Arkansas. This past summer?
It was like June or July.
Yeah, this past summer, and dude, it was insane. We're out there for like 3 days, 100-degree weather,
sweating
just
ass.
Naked people everywhere, EDM scene.
That second day gets a little rough at them
Saturday
festivals.
night. Because I played this festival 2 years in a row. They really liked what they saw the first year. We just got luck. I just was blessed, and they brought us back as a co-headliner Saturday night, main stage.
There's two of you,
both of us. He's playing electric.
What festival is this?
It was Camp Say So. Shout out Camp Say So. This will be the third year this year that they're doing it. I played the first two. Would love to come back, y'all. If you end up hearing this,
Hey, we'd love to. It sounds like
a lot of fun. There's from my
report.
reports, there was like 700 people at the last one.
Right?
There was a lot of people out there.
There was a lot of people.
BFE, Arkansas. So
I know that place.
Yeah,
dude. By that second day when the porta potties is barely getting refilled, and it gets a little rough out there on them festivals.
It was Lord of the Flies real quick out there, like first day or two.
It gets real gritty.
There was at least they had this really cool little flowing spring, like little creek to you could.
In Arkansas, it's a creek.
It wasn't
squatting.
Well, I mean, I hope that people weren't shitting in it, but there's a lot.
Like wash your face.
There was a lot of people down in there swimming and stuff, and the water was pretty clean relatively, and
This day and age, I feel like
what do you think?
Festival owners, please bring in the
I wouldn't say it was
showers.
relative. It was pretty murky.
It was murky.
Bring in the shower. Bring in those shower units, festival workers.
Those
please.
are the good ones, man.
Yeah, bring in those things where we can shower a little bit.
Yeah.
At least,
but what I want to say about you guys' project, I'm surprised that they don't have a name, man. I mean.
It seems to me like you guys are doing a bunch of fucking cool shit. You've got your solo project. You've got a solo project.
Yes.
You've got a project that you do together.
We should expand on that. It's a spontaneous jam right now.
All original content to people. This is all original content that they all do.
But the thing you guys do together, like I remember watching you guys with Tara Carr. If you guys know Tara,
yeah.
So Tara sits next to me and she's watching you guys play, and she comes over to me and she goes, "If I heard Thain rapping over some beat, I would just put him over here, like where I've heard everybody else."
Thanks, Tara Carr.
And I'm saying,
I hope you like my new album.
No,
I'm just rapping over beats.
I'm saying it's not her thing at all. It's not her thing.
I know, just fucking.
But I like it. I like them.
But Tara is a guitar player, an acoustic guitar player.
Yeah,
and she
is.
hears you play an acoustic guitar, and she takes it and she goes, "I love the shit out of what
it expands the mind."
Yeah, she's like, if I would have just heard
expands
that,
your reach as artists.
Yeah,
when you collab with stuff that's a little different. Unfortunately, you have to open some people's mind through the back door.
You want to know how it
everybody's
started?
mind the new shit.
Some people are not going to love hip hop unless you play like guitars and shit with it.
And that's kind of how that turned out.
It's funny because kind of how it started was, I couldn't tell you exactly when it started, but there was a few times where Thain would reach out to me and like, "Hey, I got a show coming up. You want to hop in on the set? We can run through some For the Birds shit." And I was like, "Yeah, well, cool. I'll do that." I'm usually down to play a show. So, story over. I mean, that's basically how it started. And then we just kind of moved it to the jam nights, and then it became a thing where, like, kind of recently, if he's on a bill, he'll hit me up, and if I'm available, it'll just kind of become our own thing. So
do you guys kind of do like a merge set, like solo to duo to?
It just depends.
Together,
I mean, it really just depends.
Kind of what you can get away with, basically.
We'll do, because you have like the live music element and like this for the sake of the sound guy and the mixing and stuff. Like we'll either do that section at the end or the beginning. Usually, we'll transition over into like just hip hop, segment, or we'll do that part first. We've already got the levels and everything where they need to be acoustically, or whether he's playing, plugged in. We've already got everything where we want it, and then he'll transition right over into doing live stuff with me. And it's worked pretty well. And shout out to John and everybody else that runs our sound frequently. Like they have us pretty well tapped in. Like they know how to make us sound really good, and that's a huge part of it too. And you've got dynamics, you can't really appreciate them unless they're doing what they need to do clean, if they're mixed well. So
and you sing too, right? Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So do you guys have like songs that you write together, like duet type songs, like where you like are you working on like an album of you two singing together, making music? Like how does it all work? Like,
well, we haven't done something like that before.
That would be fucking dope.
Not to say that it's
not saying it's not.
I'm saying I love the collaboration. When you guys get on stage, that's my favorite shit.
He's got No Peace, and a couple other tracks on his new solo album, and I'll do backing vocals for him when we play those songs and stuff. I'll do his backings and stuff, and just being with the band in general and working with live musicians has expanded my ability to do some vocals and I guess be utility.
How long was For the Birds around before you were a part of it?
So For the Birds,
like 8 years or something.
I joined March, actually on my 18th birthday, March 2012. And when I met Tony, when he asked me to join, he said they'd been a band for a few months before that. So I'm going to say the earliest they were a band was like December 2011.
So that's whose original brainchild is that? So
originally in the band, it was Tony Lee, and back then he just played guitar. He didn't sing. And then there was Casey Taveras. He played bass, and he was lead singer. And then we had Stephen Wood as the drummer. Stephen Wood, he was our drummer for like 8 years. And then he left 2019.
Shout out Stephen Wood.
Shout out Stephen Wood. And Casey. Hope y'all doing well. But that's how the band started. And then we met Thain like right after COVID hit. And he's been a part of it ever since.
Yeah.
Hey, going on to over 2 years.
I was going to say, I think New Year's 2020 maybe, or 2021. I think it was 2021 New Year's going into 2021. I came and did a just a jam with everybody, like an open jam. Like they had some people, they were going to stream it, maybe live, maybe not. I could be just embellishing, but I know we were there's some kind of jam happening.
There was a jam.
I heard it was live on MTV.
And Carson Daly might have not been there.
May or may not.
Live is spring break, motherfucker.
Neither confirm nor deny.
But sorry, I keep
you're good.
Bows. But anyway, like I came and jammed with them. The vibes were really good, and I just basically started making myself available. At the time, they were doing weekly meetings. They were doing they were all getting together, trying to get something, organize something bigger. And in the infancy stages, I guess, of Nest Records and everything, and so I just started making myself available for that. I was coming off of Jacob Mueller, my former engineer that recorded all my music up until that point. He had passed away, unfortunately.
Oh wow! And sorry. Well, shout out to him.
Shout out to Jacob Mueller and all his family.
Rest in peace, man.
Everyone that ever recorded with him knows, he was just amazing.
Yeah, I don't know the man, but
amazing at what he did.
I can see you changing your posture. Shout out to that guy.
Highly respected, guy in the scene and everything. Instrumental to where I'm sitting here.
And you probably heard his work.
Yeah. I guarantee you've heard. Well, if you've heard my albums, my solo work.
I have.
Yeah, anything solo is.
I've been enjoying your solo albums for the last week.
I was basically under his tutelage as far as whether it was just finding my voice in the studio, getting just kind of integrated with the scene with everybody else and doing shows and everything. I'd been doing shows for a few years, but nothing that I had been putting out was professionally recorded, produced, engineered, or anything. So I wasn't just getting any traction. I was kind of just people knew me and they knew I had ability, but I didn't have anything on a track record showing that. Hey,
people know when they want quality shit. They want it mixed and recorded and all that shit, right? It feels like.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they just want to see a progression. As long as you're doing something, man, I'd rather you do something. Than
you got to put it in the time.
But
people make you put in the time.
Of course, I want to hear it professionally done.
Everything does.
I say all that to say that I was pretty much stagnant. That at the end of 2020, understandably
and everything
so.
Was stagnant.
And everything,
the world was a stagnant fucking time.
A lot of uncertainty out there for everybody, and these guys hit me up on that New Year, and I was like, yeah, dude, I'd like to jam. At that point, people had hit me up for some show opportunities and different things, and I was just kind of out of the game. I'll be honest, I was doing some other things, and I was working. I was real committed to that 40-hour life, and I wasn't sure if I was going to come back to music or not. To be honest, I had made some accomplishments, done some things, but it kind of gave me that second wind or reinvigorated me. They reached out. I played with them, and then the first thing it was just a collaboration, basically. Time Served, the first track we ever did. It was actually a track that me and Charles wrote together. Sir Charles, shout out Sir Charles. We wrote that track, and then I basically, restructured it into a live band track, basically with a band, and it was just very good vibes. And then we would, I would come perform on their sets that they were playing around, and I would open, or whatever. And then I would come up and do like that song, and then before you knew it, like maybe another song we collabed on. And then it suddenly just became this transitional thing. Well, why don't you just join the band? Like, why don't you just like this is kind of going.
Why are you fucking around?
Yeah,
Let's take some of the songs that you guys already had as well.
Yeah.
So So
explain how that comes in when you got a new lead singer that comes in to your band, and like you have some songs already that you love.
You're Eddie Vedder in it.
Yeah. How do you? But do you? How's that go? Like,
so
explain to me.
When around the time he's talking about, we had maybe 3 to 5 songs that were already written that were in that phase where you're like, we could record this
for this upcoming album.
But yeah, for the upcoming album. But it's in that phase at that point where we're like, we could record this right now, or we could wait and see what happens. And we chose the latter. And we added Thain to those songs, which one of them is Voices, which, is our first music video.
Good song too, but if you haven't checked it out, check it out.
Yeah. And really that's how that happened, and the way Before the Birds works is we'll get together, man, and somebody will have a riff usually, and we'll jam on it, and whoever has lyrics will start rapping them or singing them, and it's really organic. And so when he jumped in, we already had the music there, and there were spots where there's vocals that could be, and he just filled it in. It was really easy.
What's all the members now? Who's the current members of Before the Birds?
So Thain, obviously me, Tony Lee, and Steven Shields on bass, who he has his own project, Audio Pareidolia.
Yep. Shout out to Dope, Audio Pareidolia. It's a really dope project.
He's also on one of the tracks.
What is that? What is like the?
So it's a completely, our bass is self-produced, self-engineered, live instrumentation. And he made some of the beats on there if they have, if they were made in a DAW or whatever. Like, it is super dope. I mean, it's like a poppy, kind of just a relevant, modern-sounding project, and it's a vibe. It really is honestly something fresh.
And it's the basis of
and it's our basis of
For the Birds.
Man, I'm telling you, For the Birds is got the most hardest working fucking guys I ever seen in the fucking business of Wichita. They all got their own project. They got dual projects together. They all have their own solo shit. They're making all original content.
No, man,
a fucking breath of fresh air.
It's a family, I believe.
And
I believe it's a family, man.
And my favorite thing is we got a southpaw fucking guitarist. We got a lefty. And we're starting the southpaw movement.
Hey,
are you southpaw too?
I'm a left-handed vocalist.
But
I sing left-handed.
Yeah, so we're starting the southpaw movement. It's heavy in the keyboard.
I didn't know
heavy in the keyboard.
This motherfucker. All right, now I was gonna say it like this, dude. He's fucking with me, like. He's gonna call a southpaw keyboard player. They ain't no left-handed pianos.
Right.
Yes, there is.
Straight. No, there ain't.
Left-handed people stand at it. It's a left-handed
flip the
piano.
It's not a left-handed piano, man.
You flip it backwards and shit.
So no, but if a left-handed person stands at a piano, I present to you that now it is a left-handed piano because that person is left-handed and heavy on the left. Heavy. See the face.
I wish I could play piano. Respect.
So what we're really trying to do is get a
That's the next
southpaw
move.
movement of
You didn't
all
know.
left-handed artists, and especially if you play keyboard, because those are our favorite.
My next band, you have to be left-handed.
But hey, but I will say, did you find it hard to find a left-handed guitar when you?
Dude, I find it hard now. I've been playing like 16 years.
That's
man.
what I'm trying to say, right? Like,
Shit.
it's hard to find a left-handed instrument for a guitar and bass player.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it that big of a? Is it?
It is.
You have to pay
because-
extra money for it and shit.
Not necessarily extra money. They're just it's a shortage. You know what's funny? So our bassist Steven, his dad, who's cool as fuck. His name's Steven too. Shout out Steven.
Also
Steven
Shields. Yeah, he is Steven Shields the second.
Second,
Yeah,
see?
junior and senior.
Well, he never goes by junior. I never
Or
think
the
about
second.
that.
Or
Or the
You
second.
can't do second.
A lot of juniors have a complex.
There
about
is
being
no
juniors.
seconds. There is no seconds.
There's
It's
no
junior,
seconds.
senior,
Junior, yeah.
third,
And they got
fourth, and
complexes
fifth.
about it.
Well, I don't know, maybe. But when I first met him, he was watching me, and I was like 14, so I was like a year into playing. Maybe I was 2 years, and I was pretty invested. And he was watching me playing, and he was like, "Are you left-handed? Like, do you write left-handed?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." And he was like, your fretting hand should be the hand you write with. And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm left-handed. I write left-handed, but I play guitar righty." I was like, "Dude, I've came too far. I'm not gonna relearn.
Can't go back.
I can't go back."
Can't put the toothpaste
But
back in the
it
tube.
makes sense. You
Well,
want
the world was
your
created
strong hand to be doing all
dexterous
the work. Right. But
you're more coordinated hand.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That should be fretting, right?
Exactly.
That should be your top hand.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
Well, this is how I feel like I would play guitar.
Are you right-handed?
So I'm right-handed. Yeah.
So I play with a guy named Terry Quiet, who's a left-handed.
I cannot play guitar.
He's a lefty, but he plays right because that's how his dad gave him the guitar.
Well, no, I mean, there's a bunch of
he learned it that way.
There. First and foremost, before we get too deep into the left-handed, 3% of the people in the world are left-handed. That is a complete farcity of a number. It's probably more like 30% because everything is made for a right-handed person, and it makes really actually left-handed people.
I thought it was 10%.
Shout out to all my lefties.
That's what I bet.
It's a really low percentage. I think it's
right.
like Green Eyes is like 3. I think left-handed is like 10%.
You're confusing left hand with green eyes.
Hey, man, I can't remember all these statistics, motherfucker. Shane got my phone out. We're just wildly speculating.
My eyes are like
Bro
muddy hazel.
Bro science.
You guys don't know bro science where we just wildly speculate into the air? But, like, I think it's a low percentage of people that are left-handed, and really it would be a higher percentage if stuff was actually created for them. There's a lot of left-handed people that are forced into being right-handed.
Interesting.
Word.
Like, they ain't left-handed scissors.
You feel that?
Oh, man.
You feel that? Like,
I feel that, for sure.
Yeah.
Especially, like, so if y'all can't tell, I'm dirty as fuck. I've been welding all day. So as a welder, a lot of things are right-handed.
Yeah, everything's created for the right-handed
And
person.
I have to weld against, sometimes I weld right-handed. But you're right.
As simple as
it's a right-handed world.
As simply as a
they
ledger.
made you weld right.
As simple as a ledger. As simple
Without
as a
telling me,
ledger.
yeah. Like, we're going to force your hand.
Yeah, because where's the little rollies, Like,
yeah, everything.
So, back to the Southpaw keyboardist movement.
Fuck off.
I feel like we should start can we start a YouTube? I'll start a Facebook group. I guarantee there's so many lefty fucking Southpaw keyboardists out there that can't wait to be in your band.
You're probably right, but like, find me one left-handed piano.
I'm sorry. Sorry to derail this. I just like to make this joke at this.
He just likes to fuck with me because
he has a keyboardist in his band though, so fuck him.
Okay. So
you don't have to explain.
No, I do because they're looking at me like, "What the fuck is this shit, man?" Like, the thing is when you're taught piano, you are taught to accompany yourself. This left hand becomes your bass notes and stuff, right? This is how you accompany yourself on piano. Play bass line, play melody, And when you join a band as a keyboard player, you got to take that fucking left hand, sit on it. Because you got a bass player.
There's an underground war going on between bassists and keyboardists that we all did not know about.
Until I brought it up. And now he thinks it's super funny.
It's really funny.
Yeah.
I think it's fucking hilarious.
It's not. It's just a
how
fucking
buttered
thing.
he gets about
it's
it.
Just a way. It's just a thing that is real that people don't understand is real.
So shout out to all the Southpaw keyboardists. Reach out to the Aaron and Austin show and get with us. Aaron's got more than...
Let's make some TikToks.
So back to your guys. Back to your guys' shit. So you integrate together. You bring Thain in.
Yeah.
You have a few songs that you make.
And I had some
own.
songs that I was like, hey, this would sound good as a rock song, And we just took a mixture of some of my incomplete work because I had stuff that this release that I have coming up was probably supposed to drop, during COVID. It's better that it didn't, but at the time, it was a lot of work that me and Jake, the guy that was engineering a lot of my music, when he passed away, I had all this incomplete stuff, kind of sitting there. So it's like, either let another engineer open these project files and work on this stuff, or take some of it, run off with the band.
Is that what you did? Found another engineer to finish it off? Or?
Well, ultimately, I took all of that music and dedicated it to For the Birds in that next chapter. And then
at that point,
and this new project is new.
This new project.
So what's the newest thing out of all you guys got coming out? Your solo stuff, or For the Bird stuff. What's the next shit that's coming?
Everything.
I know. I feel like I'm dodging it.
So
it's like a bukkake of For the Birds.
I haven't heard your new project yet.
Okay.
But Thain been coming out to the open mics and been
trying some stuff out.
Yeah, trying some things out. And what I'm hearing
is dope.
I'm super stoked about, man. Because what you're doing right now is what made me like hip hop back in the day. Like, I'm a big Wu-Tang fan. Those analog sounds, those big
Well,
you feel me? What you're doing right now is speaking to me.
Shout out to Ethan, Buddha Beats, young lad that's making a lot of really historical tracks for the Wichita scene. I mean,
write that fucking name down because those tracks are dope.
Put him out there one more time.
He's produced a lot on.
Put him out there one more time.
Ethan, Immortal Beats, Buddha Beats. I don't know he's very cryptic and enigmatic, so his moniker may change even by the time this releases. But Immortal Buddha right now on Facebook, if you could find him, he's a young Wichita legend. Produced Mud. He produced a lot of Sir Charles' last project. He produced some of Nick Gibbs' last work. He's just very quiet and just very humble, talented kid.
Those are the people that don't boast and brag and kind of under the radar.
And he's making everything, like you said, analog.
Your tracks sound great.
Real hardware.
Your tracks sound great.
Oh, yeah.
So what's your new solo project?
It's just honestly,
has it got Idol in the name?
It's just Idol. Now, there'll be some new surprises and like exciting new graphics and like some new merch line and stuff like that. But I've been like kind of subtly putting Easter eggs for Idol, the third installment.
Yeah.
There's Idol Mine, King Idol, just Idol. Idol's my self-title for the Idols, basically. It's like a trilogy, basically.
Are you going to move off the Idol?
Yeah, I think
the Idol title.
I'm not going to change my name to Gaines or anything, but like Christopher Gaines or whatever, like Garth Brooks was. But I'm not going to do that. But it closes off this portion of my music. It's a nice send off. All my fans.
I like that you had an in for it.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't keep.
Why are we sitting off, man? Why are we closing out a portion?
Because it's just elevation and growth. It's like over these 3 albums, I'm literally talking like 45 tracks of music. It's significant. It's a significant portion of my life. And now it's time, and I'm gonna still continue to do releases solo and with the band and everything. I don't mean a send off. I just mean
like that.
like the Idol. It was a very ambitious startup
it was
project.
More of a send off to that label.
Because it almost put me in this. It almost put me in this thing where like the first one was received well. And like I was like, well, maybe I should do a follow-up album now. It was received pretty well on this local and the regional level. Did a second album. It was received well, again. So I was like, well, shit.
So in the timeline of
now you're about to drop some shit that I really consider
in the timeline of your
dope
music making as King Idol is in Idol Mine.
Mm-hmm.
And when did you join For the Birds? Was both those albums already out?
They were already out.
So you already had both those albums.
They were already out, and I had what I thought at the time was going to be the startup of a third album, and that's the stuff I kind of just
same stuff you.
That's the stuff that ended up being For the Birds, work and stuff like that, and it worked really well. I mean, it was all applicable. Like all that stuff went smoothly into what For the Birds was doing, and sonically, that yes, they probably went some changes. We got harder. We became just a harder sounding band, I guess, through some of these projects. But like, I think it was a welcome change. Some people, a lot of the people in the band, I can't speak for everybody, but everybody kind of wanted to do something different, and something fresh to everybody. And,
I think you guys did that. You guys did that. Don't you think? I mean, compared to, what I've heard from For the Birds coming out, as I saw watching through social media, Thain's hip hop stuff kind of converge with your guys' rock stuff. I mean, It was just like he was saying earlier, like what a nice merge. And so
it blended well, and it blended well in time.
So I want to see the other end of the spectrum. I want to hear from you the other end of the spectrum. We got the hip hop artist that comes into For the Birds and joins with your stuff. What is your solo stuff like? Like, what is your vibe?
Yeah, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah, like what does your solo stuff look like, and like what's that sound, and like what are you working on that stuff?
So I'm still trying to find my voice. So
let's document the process.
Well, let me give you a quick backstory. So
we ain't got nothing but time. That's what
I've been so people don't know this, but I've been writing poetry and short stories since I was like 7 years old. So way before I started playing guitar. But I had never thought about putting it to music, let alone I didn't know how. And coincidentally, by meeting Eric Powers, meeting Thain, meeting Sir Charles, being around these writers, I learned how to put my lyrics to music.
And you realize you probably had something. You're like, this is some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
sometimes you're sitting on some shit you wrote. You're like,
exactly.
Is this something? Like, is this some shit?
Exactly. So this first single I'm going to release, it's more hip hop, but it's a little different.
I feel like you got a lot in you. Like,
I don't want to give too much away.
It's dope. That's super dope.
Let's give a bunch away.
He's bringing some grown man.
I don't want to give too much.
Grown man hip hop vibes. If you like kind of what I'm doing, but also like more melodic, more harmonic, more sultry.
Well, he's a guitar player.
He's
he's a good guitar player.
So, how much of your solo project is you like singing and playing guitar? Like, is it completely different from that? Like, what is your
so? I don't want to give too much away. So
give it away.
My plan.
We're fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers in this motherfucker. Give it away. Give it away.
Well,
give it away.
Here's the thing: is I feel like if I gave too much away, I'm gonna jinx myself. But here's my plan.
Nobody listens to us, dude.
No, dude.
Here's my plan.
Likes this show.
Okay.
Here's my plan. Here's my
Show's
plan.
fucking horrible.
So I'm gonna do half rock, quote unquote, half rap, quote unquote. Now, as far as instrumentation, I'm doing everything but drums. I can't play drums. So if there's any keys you hear, guitar, bass, vocals, lyrics, it's me. Okay. Tony Lee, he's producing me. He's also the engineer. He's also going to be the drummer. And he'll program the drums if it's like a hip-hop song. Yep. So this first track, these drums, they're not real drums. They're programmed, but he programmed. So he's getting credit as that.
And that's still real drums to me.
That's how I got
and they sound crispy. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, that's my first song. We've been shooting the video. I have a tentative date. I'm not gonna give too much away. I'm just saying I want it out before Valentine's Day.
That's out tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's actually going to be out with this episode.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Link in the comments, y'all.
Link in the comments. Whole entire behind the scenes footage.
Pre-save here.
But let's just say, guys, it was something that I've been wanting to do for a long time.
You look happy about it. I ain't gonna lie. You look happy about it.
Well,
I'd like to see people.
Have you ever
passionate about
found something about yourself? You're like, man, where's this been all my life?
Yeah, motherfucker, I'm here. You're sitting at my table.
We do that shit. Yeah, we do that shit a lot, man.
It's kind of like
You're sitting at my table, motherfucker.
It was kind of like that.
I'm always looking for them Easter eggs, man.
You know
I'm always looking for them.
Yeah.
Well, I always like to. I always can tell when, and with both of you, when you. It's nice that you guys got this collaboration, got your own thing too. But it's when we talk about all of it, it's nice to see the passion in it, because that's really how I can get down with any artist. If you give a fuck.
I think without speaking out of turn, me and IC are like, because we don't have the kids yet. We haven't we're wild cards. Like if someone hits us up tonight, if I have an inbox after this podcast, like, hey, can you come over? 2 states away. I'm gonna be entertaining those details. So it's I think we're really chasing we're really still burning bright and out here really just going for it.
Well, I mean, now you guys are a bright spot of the local talent. I mean, a big bright spot of the local talent. I mean, to see a band with multiple artists have multiple solo, have multiple shit in between. You guys, that is fucking cool.
It's inspiring, man.
And I'm going to say the Nest Records family is really a lot of that. Okay, like Nest Records.
Give a shout out to Nest Records. Who is Nest Records? Who's behind the whole entire original?
You motherfuckers.
Tony
Lee's at the helm of the.
We have to talk to Tony.
He's in the co-pilot. He's in the pilot, not the co-pilot. He's in the pilot seat of everything, and he's got a lot of co-pilots and people that
But, we have a lot of names under our umbrella. We have MJ12, Left Without Notice, Eric Powers.
What's that?
Sunset Motel, Tavo, yes.
Yeah, me and Tavo having lunch on Thursday.
And everyone's multi-talented. Like you mentioned Tavo. I mean, he's helping me shoot my video.
And I tell you right now, anybody that's a hip hop artist, use that motherfucker to help you sing your hooks and shit.
Yeah, he's got some catchy pop type.
Yeah, he does, man.
Yeah. He sounds good. Like he's got a nice tone to his voice. Like he would be a nice feature on a track, like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So
I just like his character.
We picked and choose, and we honestly, man, it's funny. Like as soon as we met Thain, it seemed like everybody else kind of came, like boom, because he introduced Tabo. I think Sunset Motel came with them. Well, and we're fortunate that everybody on our roster is not only hungry, but they're talented. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
I would agree. I would 100% agree.
If they was hungry and bullshit, what am I supposed to do with that?
Right.
Being capable of learning, absorbing knowledge, and being taught to fish. If you're capable of, then it's like, not to say it's, but like you said, being a pillar of the scene or being someone significant through tenure or through just your resume or whatever it is. It brings about like a sense of obligation to make sure that everyone knows how to do this shit right in a way that's going to be sustainable and create longevity for other artists. And
so I fight for this a lot, But what I come up with many times is like I try to help somebody to realize kind of, okay, you're here. I think where you want to be is slightly over here, like. this is what it's going to take to elevate you to the next thing.
And you just want somebody that's going to listen.
And they just don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Or
absolutely.
Some people aren't ready to receive the lesson yet, or
okay,
receive
so
the knowledge.
It's hard.
More than I mean.
I can't tell them anything that they're not willing to learn.
And react to everybody's what they tell you, but take in even like the horrible comments you get on a platform, all the way up to the great comments. It's nice to take in all those reactions in between and try to assess which ones will help you. Because I mean, even some of the harshest comments I've had from this podcast from some of our listeners have helped me be better at this. Yeah. So,
well, if we're in a place to take that criticism, that helps a lot. Okay.
Yeah, and I am. I always have been.
If 20 episodes in, I think that I'm ready to monetize. I've already fucking reached it. I'm the top of the mountain.
Yeah, that's
bullshit. You know what I mean? Like I can't.
It's hard to get that way. You know, to relate like that with artists. You know what I mean? Because I want to say emotional to sound woo-woo, but you know what I mean? Like, you're really right. invested.
Yeah, of course.
And it's okay to say it, because that's
you know
true.
What I'm saying?
Really
and so when someone comes at you a certain type of way, if you're not receptive and you're not looking at it objectively instead of subjectively, it can fuck with you. You know what I mean?
It can fuck with you, but what I'm saying is I think the whole industry is like that.
Yeah.
The whole industry is just like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, people don't care about your fucking headspace when they tell you what they need to tell you.
No, sometimes the kick in
it's a
the
business.
teeth.
You know what I mean?
At the end of the day, it's a business.
Yeah. Like, how many times has a kick in the teeth made you a better artist?
Hopefully, learn after the first couple kicks.
You know what I mean? Like, somebody says, you're not trying hard enough. Man, you're not doing this good enough.
Dude, that shit can hurt. That shit can hurt.
It does hurt.
And man,
well, hold on.
And I take back on it, and I'm like, oh shit, man.
You have to.
It's not gonna break me.
It's tricky though, man, because everybody's got an opinion. So you have to learn who to take that criticism from.
You trust them.
Yeah, you got to have respect for them.
That's it. That's what I think.
You have to trust them, but you also have to believe that they have the best interest for you.
They're not just trying to sandbag.
But I have got some of the best objective advice from complete strangers shitting on my art. Now, you got to be a pretty big person to read that shit and be like, oh, okay.
You do.
They're kind of nice.
You have to walk that line, though.
I know when they're right, dude.
Sometimes,
I know when they're right.
Yeah, sometimes they're right.
Sometimes there's something to be gained from their opinion.
Sometimes I need to shut the fuck up.
But other times,
you can hit it.
Other times, they're not they're not your target audience. They're not who your art's directed to. They're not someone who's going to consume and appreciate that anyway. They're just there to be an obstacle. You know.
You gotta weed out those motherfuckers that just make those dumbass comments.
Are they just battling you because you hot right now?
Yeah,
and they try to knock you off your thing.
And that's a lot of them trying to steal your heat.
Yeah,
that's what I
sometimes you just can't even acknowledge. Like, by acknowledging them, you lose a little bit of momentum.
But you can't get some like real constructive criticism from a fucking complete stranger. Like I've read in comments sometimes that I need to shut the fuck up in episodes, and I'm like, that motherfucker.
I've definitely done.
The complete strangers give you the real shit.
You're fucking right.
The complete strangers give you the real shit.
Well, because they're not going to sugarcoat.
They're not in your echo chamber. You know.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. That's what I mean.
Exactly. And those are the. And if you respect a person, you do have to weed through that constructive criticism. That shit ain't easy. I ain't gonna lie to you.
No. I don't need more people floating my boat about. Oh God, you're so amazing. You're so awesome. I love what you do. Yeah. This is great.
Well, I like a little bit of that too.
Yeah, it's like part of you likes your ego strokes.
We all respond to that.
Like you don't like that shit. You can tell me, Mom.
We all respond to that. We all respond to that, but how much of that's pre-programmed?
Yeah, and it's not.
How much of that was coming your way?
It's not conducive or helpful to help you grow. It's not.
Yeah, some people are just nice. Some people are just nice. Some people just tell you what you want to hear. But, thank you. That's
the beauty about online, though. You know, plugging yourself online versus like you're doing your grassroots stuff. Is because like
now you have a market.
So as artists, I feel like you get more of the truth online because you ain't got to look them in the face. Everybody tells you.
Absolutely.
Everybody tells you in person.
You'll get truth from people that have seen you in person, before.
I'm
but like because
they have
online.
courage to do it online.
They do.
I'm gonna tell you it ain't all truth.
Because I mean, look at me or you in the face or any of us in the face. Most times people are nice. I mean, nobody wants to give you even constructive criticism right to your face because it's an awkward fucking conversation.
Right.
Well, it's like that George Carlin bit where he's calling the dude an asshole if he's way across the room. Oh, that guy's an asshole, but he's right next to you. He's like, oh, that guy's an asshole.
You text it.
Nowadays, you would.
You text it, we can amend your bit.
Yeah.
We love you, George, but we'll amend your bit.
Rest in peace.
Text it.
Yeah, he got some George Carlin. I got I think 2 or 3 George Carlin audio samples on my first album.
Well, you even
Shout out to
really?
his estate.
Shout
Shout out his estate.
I would say shout out to the Juice Box guy on your fucking last album.
Yeah, I was gonna say shout out to the estate of George Carlin. Don't sue me for using the audio clips,
Do you
please.
know who I am? Yeah, you're the fucking Juice Box guy.
Oh, that was from Kicking and Screaming. That was from.
I know exactly where that's from, and it's on the back of your trap
Fucking
song
hilarious.
on your latest album.
Hilarious.
So when does your new album come out?
You know,
What is the story there? And it's just called Idol.
it's
3?
all recorded.
Is it
it's just Idol.
It's
just Idol. You can call Idol 3 because I know there's just because.
So you got the E flip.
Yes, there's gonna be because it's it's just
like
whatever.
it. I like it.
There's gonna be. I thought it was kind of slick, and it's the third.
It's clever.
Using just calling it Idol seems like it's almost just the self-title album. Doing that as a third album instead of the first is kind of weird, but it just seems like the right thing to do. Initially, this was gonna be an EP, and then I was like, you know what? Like I got really into that groove with the homie Ethan, Immortal Beats, Immortal Buddha, and just really got locked in with him. And a lot of the shit we created organically right at the end of the album's process. Like,
John, you want one more? Just so we know.
We I'd go over, he'd create the sequences, the loops, like he'd cut it right there, MPC 5000, off the vinyl, dropping vocal samples, doing it completely legitimate, his stuff never even sees software until he's bouncing it to you, until he's he might send it in, he might put it in Fruity Loops or something and make sure everything's lined up appropriately and the timing is good, and then but it was just real, we just cultivated something really.
How many tracks you got on that?
11 tracks, and there's only 3
That's
features, and the rest of it's just.
And that's coming
Rapping.
out
Bars.
today.
That'll be out by this. No,
right now.
I think
Actually, before this episode.
Let me hit go.
I'm not even gonna put a tentative date on it, like IC said, until because I want the execution of this one to be good.
Yes.
Really just
I will. I know you're as an artist. I will stroke your ego a little bit. All that I've been listening to your music, a lot of your albums and some of your feature stuff, all on Apple Music this week, and your execution of your shit's pretty fucking tight.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I can tell when somebody puts in the time.
You give a fuck, and that means something.
I can tell when somebody because for me to click on and listen to it and download
I'll try not to take 4 or 5 years to track the next out, solo out.
Well, you got to keep up with Sir Charles III. He's dropping 3 albums this year. He said.
I've got
17.
I've got a For the Birds album.
For
the record,
I think we just got to the hour mark. So
real quick though.
Okay.
Let's put this shot in the mic. I want this sound clip of us chugging.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the record, though, we are doing a
Yeah.
13 track For the Bird album, 11
When is
track.
that? You have that?
in the next few months.
Yeah, in the next few months.
13 track.
You're not getting dates.
Early
You ain't getting
2023.
dates.
But
I know.
we're keeping it all hush hush.
So those dates are coming out exactly on March
I'm releasing
17th.
30 tracks in the
That's
next
my birthday.
6 months.
Is it?
March 17th.
So your birthday?
March 17th.
Yeah, same time.
Finally 21.
Hey,
Finally 21.
I'm turning 29, baby.
Same
Yeah,
bad,
20.
over there, John.
29.
Yeah.
All right in the mic.
Trying to get fucking Rumpleman
Big theater
soundbites.
Papa
We're
Devil.
trying to get a soundbite, man.
Ooh, goddamn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is horrible.
That's good for
Oh,
your soul.
Jesus
Guys,
Christ.
I don't want to hear how horrible it is. We're 41 episodes in.
It's so
I'll hear
horrible.
it from the guests.
I ain't been here 41 times.
Yeah.
This
No,
is my
I'll hear it
first
from
time.
you guys.
He's like, I did that 41 times.
I'll hear it from the guests. I'm
Yeah,
tired of hearing it from
motherfucker.
you. You make me drink Jameson on every goddamn episode. Don't act like that shit tastes good.
You buy it.
I know. Shit. But still.
Y'all need some 40 ounces.
Wait,
Might as
what?
well.
40s?
At this point, you might
What?
as well.
Of what? Of what?
OE 800.
Just do
Oh,
Edward
yeah.
40 hands.
Or
for the-
St.
for the
Ives.
It's
episode.
just, the thing is that the logistics of a fucking 40 ounce takes up too much space on the fucking table.
Owen would be mad at us.
Look at these
That
big ass
point.
cameras. They
Just tape
can't
them to your
see.
hands.
Owen would be pissed off.
These
He'd be
big
like-
ass
he'd be like,
cameras.
you can't have 440s on the arm.
Man,
Sorry. It's a podcast. We can do whatever the fuck we want. It's fucking
yeah.
over.
Your name's on the
Yeah, we can do
shit.
it. I mean,
Oh,
shit.
shit, it's me.
So, what's going to come out first?
I-
okay, so
at
it's
this
a race
point-
to the finish line.
at this
is
point-
Idol
Alright.
3.
Is that right?
I
The
think
Battle
I
of
think
Birds
album
I
or
think
your
Idol
shit coming
3
out first?
I think Idol 3 will come
Yes.
out first just because it's positioned to come out first. Working on some campaigns and some release stuff, and I've got some really hot shows and stuff like that. I don't want to speak out of soon. You don't want to block your blessings. You don't want to all
I'm
that. good
waiting
stuff.
on it, man.
You don't
I
wanna
love
jinx
it.
your jinx?
I love what
Right.
I heard. Yeah.
So it's like mine will probably come.
Never heard that before.
His solo, might come after mine, and then so we
Come
had
hard after.
we had Steven with Audio Paradolia. We
Soft
had
house.
him, Dope is the name
Yeah.
of his album. He just dropped our bassist.
January 20th.
and then my album.
What's that? See, we got other shit.
Well,
There was a date.
That's Steven.
He snuck a date
That was
in there,
Steven.
though.
Yeah, he snuck it in there real quick.
It was already in there.
20.
January 20th.
Should already knew.
You
Should have
hit
knew.
us with like that micro talk. Let's actually give a date. This one's got a date to it.
Well,
Steven Shields.
It already passed. January 20th. Steven Shields, Audio Pareidolia.
that shit out.
You
It's
can
hot.
find it.
It's out and available right
You
now.
can find it
I'm
on
featured.
all
Right now,
platforms. I
everywhere.
bet.
I'm not
Yes.
just saying that because I'm on the album. It's
So
dope.
you guys don't give
It is
dates
dope.
until the shit releases. I see how you guys do.
Audio
Pareidolia.
Pareidolia.
Audio Pareidolia.
Yeah, read dictionary for that.
Pareidolia.
But it's
Same-
dope.
yeah.
It's sick.
I ain't paying.
It's
And
sick.
so I think it went
send me
him.
the link because I ain't gonna be able to sell it.
Then Idol, just Idol 3, whatever your
Yeah.
nomenclature is on
He's
that.
probably coming next.
Is that going to be the logo for it?
This will be a part of the logo.
Are you gonna have a
Now,
t-shirt
these,
for this?
These,
I want a
these were
5X.
this was like Easter egg merch that I've been kind of silently letting people
Yeah,
know.
I haven't seen
I've been
that.
dropping breadcrumbs for like a few years now that this is going to be the next
seen
album.
it.
Just selling it as merch with my other
I like
Thain
that you're
merch and
leading up to
stuff.
it. That's the way to
And
think about it.
I mean, I've sold mini hats and hoodies,
good
shirts,
idea.
and stuff like that. Stickers with the Idol design, and people think they kind of associate that with Thain, just same as my Thain logo. So like when this new project drops and that logo is a part of the graphic, it's not the graphic, but it'll be a part of the detail. Well, they'll see it and register it to their mind. They'll be like, "Holy shit! I have that hat from a year ago at a show."
I can put your shirt on a podcast if you're.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
if
sure.
you give us I'll buy.
Need to
I'll
get
buy.
y'all some.
Let me get it.
some
Let me get
clothes.
a fucking shirt. I'll give me a 5X.
Do you have tent sizes?
Right now, I don't.
10?
I mean, I need.
I'm a
about to-
2X. I'm a 10.
I'm about to do a full new line of merch. Shout out to Josh Bethel actually.
Oh, yeah.
he just
Love
did.
Josh.
He just did a couple.
Shout out to Josh.
For the
started
bird
his
He used to
page.
run it for the bird shirts of a new design. Came
Oh,
out.
And
man,
I've
it
been,
looks sick.
thank you for bringing Josh up. A shout out to anybody that does podcasts. Josh is already Art Assault that we love. He
Art
started
Assault
his
family.
own podcast.
Just did his the other day.
Yeah, he does his own thing on Saturday now, which is a love of music podcast
Yeah,
that he does.
yeah.
I think it's just him.
For the love of music.
A little bit. It's a little bit of that. It's a little bit of that. But anybody that starts a podcast, I always want to give him.
I tell everybody that's doing a podcast, like the consistency of the steady editing and the post production and just like the plugging everything and the editing, finding new guests and finding stuff to stay relevant and talk about. It's a lot of fucking work.
Thank
know,
you.
I love to talk,
Fucking
but
thank
that's
you.
that's a lot of work. Like that's like. Whew.
Thank you. It is a lot of work.
I might have an
It
anxiety
is
attack
a
if
lot
someone
of
asks me
work,
to start a
my man.
podcast right now. Like,
It'll be all right. It'll be all right.
Shout out to Shootout
It'll be
Battle
okay.
League. We're starting a battle league here in Wichita. Like that's in its infancy stages.
What is that?
Nerf?
Tell him about
give us
that.
some. Give us some.
But Joe Kerr, he's promoting a lot of
Yeah.
shows
Hey,
around
and shout
town.
out to
Oh,
Joe.
no,
we love
no.
Joe. We
Yeah.
love Joe at Syndrome Entertainment.
Yeah,
We love
Syndrome
you, Joe.
Entertainment. That's
Yeah,
right.
so
That's
I hooked
right.
He was
him
a
up with
guest
my
of
boy
ours a
Nathan.
couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and Nathan
I hooked him
Underwood
up.
from Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Nathan Underwood.
Yeah, we're
No
uh,
relation.
My
we're
bad.
me and
I
Kush
got it.
Powers are like brand ambassadors and hosts, co-hosts, and,
Yes,
and Clarity.
yes, I'm so glad. I'm so
from the
glad.
Art Assault podcast. We're like hosts of this, and it's something that we're gonna like kind of be on the groundbreaking,
Guys.
level of and try
Well,
to make it
I'm
successful.
judging
Guys,
I'm
this
judging the
is-
rap battle that's coming up between the.
This is something I've been trying to facilitate for a very long time. Me and Nate, we so he's an Underwood, and so we struck
You
a
guys
chord.
stick, you
know
guys
what
stick
I mean?
together.
I've known this
I
guy
don't
for a
know what
little
that
while.
means, but I feel like it's something shifty.
It's some cultish.
Totally, yeah.
It feels shifty.
If you don't
It
have
feels
the
like
ring,
I don't want to
you
know
don't
more.
We don't
but
know
I
the
do,
secret handshake.
But I don't.
Yeah.
But
Curious.
anyway, I'm trying to open up pipelines. Man.
Yeah.
And my boy Nate down in
Interesting
Oklahoma
choice of
City, my boy down in Oklahoma City, Nate, we're trying to just open up that pipeline.
Right.
And this is a good way to do it, I think.
Oh, yeah.
A couple months of like rap battles.
There's rappers that are hungry, like that have
Bring your
something-
people here. I'm taking my people there.
There-
And shout out
Let's
to
go.
Joe. Joe hired me to
It's
be
gonna
a
be good.
host on his New Year's Eve show, and he let me graciously hired me to be a judge to a.
Yeah, Joe-
Joe's coming up. I like Joe, man.
Me,
Well,
he's a hard worker.
genuine.
Me and Kush have been trying to kind of get him up to speed on everything
Yeah.
we know about
Yeah.
not just battle rap culture.
trying to help him,
but
too.
also Wichita has its own history with battle
Joe's
rap
willing
culture.
to listen. That's
so
what I love about
That's
Joe.
what I love.
yeah,
Willing to
he's studious.
He
Like
wants to
that
learn.
dude. That
He
dude will
wants to learn.
come.
I like the guy.
He'll come absorb some
wants to go.
knowledge.
Yep.
He's
so.
a nice. He's a very nice guy. I like Joe.
No, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm glad you guys are.
Joe bites my style.
Going the
though.
same way
You
there.
say he's older than me.
You
but
guys
he-
could be brothers. I'm just saying. I'm just
right?
saying. I'm just
Joe
saying.
bites my style. He's like.
Who's
dude,
the older brother?
No, see, he's older than me, but that's not how it works. Who had?
I don't know.
who
I
had
don't
the
know.
hair
I
and
don't
the
know.
be-
That's a tough
Who had
one.
the hair and the beard style first?
That's a toughie.
Is more,
That's a
is
toughie.
more who's
Yo,
older.
motherfucker.
Get the fuck out of here.
Hey, all right. So we got to close out, man. We got to close out.
Shit. Well, do we? It's only been 51 minutes.
I heard that hour fucking shit.
Like 10 minutes ago.
Wow, big.
So I tell you what. So we don't know who's coming first. You got to just just wait for all.
You got to stay tuned. You got to follow all our pages.
Stay tuned. So what's all your pages? Where can we find all of you?
For the Birds 316 on I think Facebook or just For the Birds all with no spaces. 316 Thain on Instagram. Or just For the Birds 316 or 316 For the Birds.
And then you got ICIV because I'm the fourth. ICIV or ICIV Music.
Keep them out on TikTok, y'all. ICIV Music.
Yeah, TikTok, Instagram.
I heard you're killing it on your TikTok. What are you doing on TikTok? You just flexing?
Dude,
yeah, you are. Yeah. So you just do it. You hit him with that
tripping.
He rubbed a little olive oil on it, man.
Y'all tripping.
The sad thing is he didn't say no.
He's killing it.
I hear John laughing in the background. Motherfucker. No, man. I'm just doing 15-second Clint.
So
15-second clips.
Like this.
He's keeping it honest right now. It's just guitar. I told him
it's just guitar.
Just segment over to the just playing with no shirt on, and before you know it, you'll be at like 20K.
Dude,
he's talking shit.
I already heard. He already was bragging on you doing real well with your TikTok. You're getting a lot of followers already. I feel like you popped the shirt off. We're done.
Next video.
Yeah, hey,
next
hold
video.
up. No shirt's been off, but I've had my TikTok about 3 weeks, and I got 1,000 followers.
And your TikTok is?
That's
what's
awesome.
your TikTok?
My TikTok is ICIV Music.
And soon to be IC Music shirtless.
Hey,
ICIV shirtless. No, it's not.
Yeah,
it's not.
OnlyFans link dropping soon.
I had to correct you. No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
I see OnlyFans.
He's going to at least be in a tank top.
You know what's fucked up?
Ladies, he will be in a tank top.
So I changed my profile picture. I made a little post, and somebody was like, "You're making OnlyFans, aren't you?" I was like, "Man, fuck you. No, I'm not." But it's all in good fun.
I feel like you could make some money there.
Put it an untapped market.
Nah.
Yeah,
put a little string
that's
tank
dirty,
top on.
That's dirty money.
Nah, man.
It's dirty money.
Hey,
man,
exactly.
It all spins, baby.
You're not wrong on there, but it's all
So do you
art.
guys? Can you guys rep some Nest Records contacts? How do we find Nest Records?
Nest Records, man. Look up
Nest Records on
Kush
Facebook.
Powers. Look at Nest Records on Facebook.
Yeah,
Nest Records on Instagram, TikTok. Nest Records everywhere. Hashtag Nest Records.
What is?
I think hashtag Nest Records on TikTok has like 160,000 views.
I checked it a few times when I was out there.
I was surprised to see that. Shout out to Santiago Music. Santiago from Flyover. He's killing it.
Santiago's killing it.
He's got like over 60,000 followers on TikTok.
And that guy's dedicated to the social media.
That dude is murdering it right now.
And he's a phenomenal vocalist too.
He really is.
Anybody asking if you want to be like making your shit happen on social media, it's dedication. Just like what they said.
Yes.
Like if you got to be relevant. I'm giving you some free advice because I get this hit up, and so I'm just trying to squash this right here.
Yeah.
Play reels. Play your content.
Post every day.
Post
every fucking day.
Twice a day. Once in a month.
3 times a day. 3 times a day.
Hey, hold up.
3 times, Icy. You want to see 10K the next couple weeks?
That's real.
3 times.
You want to maximize.
You getting 3 times a week.
Friends.
Hey, you getting 3 a week. You getting 3
times.
day.
I see.
You got to do it.
We're gonna be living off these TikTok views soon.
You getting
Just keep
3 a
3
week.
times a week. 3 times a day.
Well, you haven't entered into shirtless territory.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
When you do shirtless territory, this shit gonna be like every other hour.
Y'all tripping.
You gonna be like now I'm in this banana hammock.
Pretty soon he's gonna be too big to be tagging me on his TikTok videos.
Banana hammock.
Y'all tripping, but like
I need some more Jameson.
It's not limited. You own 0 banana.
No, we're killing it. He's keeping it clean. It's all guitar. It's all guitar freestyle riffs and shit, and he's killing it and shit.
I'm just fucking around.
And he is the leader of the Southpaw movement in the musicians.
But hold, let's be serious. Because I don't want no one to get misconstrued. If you watch my social media, don't necessarily think...
It's all appropriate.
Hold on. Don't necessarily think that that's exactly what I'm going to be doing.
It's appropriate now.
In my solo shit. Because my solo shit is not going to be exactly how my social media shit is.
I feel like you got a wide range of music.
I'm gonna put that out there.
Well, I will say to everybody, just like what he's trying to say. When you see any of these artists from this group, from For the Birds, from what I've seen from Thain, from what I've heard from IC, from what I've come to learn in this interview from their bassist, they are a multitude of great individual artists that are doing a bunch of cool shit.
This is a family of motherfuckers.
Yeah, doing a bunch of cool shit
that I really enjoy.
Enjoy. So if you can't get down with that, what the fuck you doing here? What the fuck you doing here? You need to instantly check out.
Come out to a show ASAP.
Check out anything that Thain's done. I cannot wait to hear new shit from IC.
February 4th?
The cruise here in this building that we're actually streaming this podcast from. February 4th, we're doing the Cruz Ramiro Memorial Benefit Show.
In this building,
right here.
Tons of bands playing. I was a late addition. They put me on that. But we will all be here. We're gonna be
the whole For the Birds. Well, the whole thing.
Maybe me and Icy, but I can't say about the whole band.
Either way, I'm gonna come out and fuck with it.
So you heard it here first.
Right here.
All their albums are coming out at the end of this podcast.
Everything. All the links for every release in the comments right now.
They're doing it.
I'm gonna tell y'all this. By the end of the year,
first 50 purchasers get 20% off.
And all jokes aside, guys, come out to that Monica House show. Check out these guys any fucking chance you get. Thane's got a bunch of original content.
Check them out, dude.
Dude, I cannot wait to hear your original content.
Make sure you check out Icy Collins the 4th.
Pay attention. Pay attention to Nest Records. Pay attention to Thane.
Pay attention to For the Birds.
IC. Pay attention to For the Birds.
Shit. Pay attention to their drummer shit. Pimp it one more time.
Steven Shields.
There is a community.
Our bassist.
Hit it one more time.
But hey, our drummer, real quick. Kyle James, our drummer.
Kyle James.
Tony
Lee. Everybody, there's gonna be another One Stone project coming out also, which is Tony Lee and Icy Collins. We've got some shit coming out.
And all of this,
lots of stuff happening.
And all of this, guys, is original content. When you're looking for musicians that are passionate about their shit, I mean, you cannot sit across from two more passionate artists that have a bunch of other artists that they deal with that are just as passionate to them. It's a breath of fucking fresh air for this town.
Much
love. Involved.
Love y'all.
And hopefully we get free t-shirts.
Johnny got my theme song.
I got you.
Hit it.
Let's hit it.